Have you ever considered the power of transformation to completely alter something? My name is Jenny Wakefield, and this video describes the proposed organizational transformation plan to move eSchool, a unit at a university, from a situation where students of minority and different social class than the majority are less included and considered. The transformation plan proposes to move the situation first to moderate inclusion and over time to inclusive. Addressing the gap will take place by developing faculty and employee training on diversity, equity, and inclusion, and awareness of minority groups and their needs. Tools and resources will additionally be developed for faculty to use when infusing course content with diversity, equity, and inclusion topics and engaging with campus and eSchool enrolled students. The overarching university-level goals of the transformation plan are to improve student retention and increase enrollment of minority groups, especially in eSchool, by becoming a caring and welcoming environment for all students, regardless of abilities, disabilities, gender, age, color, identity, religion, social status, or sexual orientation. The transformation will take place through change of faculty and employee attitudes towards minority and identity groups, not only within eSchool, but across the campus community. For the purpose of this video, eSchool is a specific unit within the larger institution and will be the focus for the Transformational Change Initiative. An organizational transformation strategy moves an organization from where it is to where it needs to be. The benefit with the initiative as a whole is that we will be able to strengthen current goals, develop tools, strategies, and training that will facilitate the proposed change. Transformation within eSchool will take place through instructional design initiatives and eSchool faculty and employee training. eSchool is the focus of this transformational change. It is the e-learning school at a small private liberal arts university located in the southeast of the United States. The online school provides 7 undergraduate and 1 graduate program fully online. Number of exclusively online students is 184. 26 students are in both online and face-to-face courses. Student-to-faculty ratio in eSchool is 13:1. Student demographics. A review of the college demographics showed an enrollment of 853 students, 33% men and 67% women. 559 students are white, 56 Hispanic, 60 Black or African American, 31 international, 3 Asian, 17 multi-ethnic, and 77 unknown. The racial ethnic diversity is seen as below average, with a diversity score of 49.84 out of 100. No identity data was found. There is high geographic diversity. Students come from 20 states and 19 countries. Currently, there is limited housing and policies require all students, except online students, to reside on campus unless they have special permission. Space is at a premium, and currently the ability to grow is limited to eSchool programs and to a few remote locations. The online programs have an enrollment of a total of 225 students. For its vitality to continue serving the students and to stay competitive, it has been established that the university must grow, not only in online learning. A master plan. A master plan 2030 has been developed under the lead of the university president, clearing the ground for new infrastructure, allowing for the needed growth. The college mission is to educate and inspire students to approach life and work from a creative, collaborative, and critical perspective in preparation for diverse careers and environments. The mission shows the college's new emphasis on diversity. Additionally, the college motto is service above self, place needs of others above own, build environments where everyone feels they have voice. This motto further speaks towards inclusion. The newly hired Chief Diversity Officer is leading the work with developing the strategic plan around diversity, equity, and inclusion at the institution and has established an internal DEI newsletter, a college-wide DEI task force, a DEI framework to provide guidance on how to achieve DEI-related goals mentioned in the new strategic plan. However, as noted by Pope, Reynolds, and Miller 2014, simply including diversity language in the campus mission and value statement is not enough. Instead, both systemic and systematic strategies are necessary to incorporate multicultural issues throughout the fabric of the institution in self-sustaining ways. Using data to support change. Current state of eSchool. When working towards a welcoming environment for diversity, Cox noted, resistance was most likely to come from majority culture group members. Cox reasoned this resistance might occur because the members of the majority groups would feel that change might yield a zero-sum game in which others gain and they lose. The majority of faculty at the university are white, 96.4%, why it became important to keep in mind how they might feel threatened by DEI initiatives and resist change toward a more diverse university. Cox recognized that part of this problem was due to a misunderstanding of what diversity work was all about, and suggested training and communication would be beneficial to alleviate such resistance. A new instructional designer was hired to eSchool to assist with online course design, improve e-learning processes and practices, and development of courses and other training. Reviewing existing online courses taught during the spring 2022 semester, the instructional designer identified that courses mostly consisted of reading from textbooks and journal articles. Learning assessments mostly included twice-weekly discussion board, term papers, and occasional projects. That is to say, there was little variety in learning materials and few opportunities for students to really engage with the materials. In the analysis, accessibility issues were also identified in course materials as well as in the syllabi. The IDE also sent out a survey to program coordinators in eSchool to seek further feedback on faculty perceptions on areas that they found most significant in online courses and perhaps wanted to learn more about. The responses provided eSchool faculty specific data to be used as part in the development of an online teaching framework for eSchool. Online teaching frameworks are research-informed models for course designers that help instructors align learning goals with classroom activities, create motivating and inclusive environments, and integrate assessment into learning. They provide a frame for how to design and teach in a student-centered way. In online learning, Lehman and Consecayo explained, a student-centered model is seen to best promote student retention. Such a model focuses on students' perceptions of how they proceed through a course. Developing and providing faculty with a universal course template, for example, will allow students sameness and control as they move from online course to course. The content may differ, but the course content, the structure, remains the same. The authors further directed how, in traditional classrooms, the students can think, feel, and behave in a visual environment. Online, the environment is invisible. Lehman and Consecayo. Because of this, the authors shared, it is essential to make the environment as real as possible, and this may be done by ensuring students know how to navigate the online classroom, understand the learning process, and have strategies available to keep them motivated. Further, the authors noted, including these strategies, the instructor creates a sense of presence within the context of online learning and teaching. Presence may facilitate a sense of belonging in a virtual environment. A sense of belonging reflects a particularly strong feeling of inclusion, of being close to others in the group and accepted by them. Mucius, Varexi, and Salua noted, quote, culturally engaging campus environments are salient predictors of belonging for both white students and students of color, and access to environments characterized by cultural familiarity, collectivist cultural orientation, and holistic support might be especially important in providing the conditions to maximize belonging among students in college, regardless of racial background. The authors also noted how cultural familiarity may play an important part in that it provides students, especially students of color, with validation that people from their communities and backgrounds are valued by their respective campuses. The instructional designer further reviewed college demographics, considering existing data on the university diversity, equity, and inclusion as a whole, but also connected with the new Chief Diversity Officer to learn about his overarching framework for inclusive excellence at the university moving forward, to better align her work with his. Additionally, the eSchool Dean was interviewed for historic information and expected future outcomes, information, and existing policies and priorities for the school that may not have been available as documents. Analyzing all gathered data, the instructional designers started working on goals towards improving diversity, equity, and inclusion for eSchool. Goal 1. Develop and implement a teaching framework for eSchool. Goal 2. Develop a universal course template for eSchool courses. Goal 3. Develop a universal syllabus for eSchool courses. Goal 4. Develop faculty training on student-centered strategies and best practices for online teaching and learning. Goal 5. Develop introductory DEI training for teaching and learning in online courses under resource repository for eSchool faculty and adjuncts with ideas and pre-designed activities and assignments related to multiculturalism. That would be webinars and recorded videos, plus a website with links to resources. Goal 6. Develop an accessibility checklist with information on how to problem solve common accessibility issues and share examples to make the materials more engaging and entertaining. The checklist will be used to develop video training, and accompanying quiz questions may allow the training to be used for annual mandatory PD training for faculty and employees, delivered as a website, video recordings, and quizzes. The goal of the eSchool transformational change is to elevate the experience in online courses for all students to one where caring faculty support all students regardless of abilities, disabilities, gender, age, color, identity, religion, social status, or sexual orientation. The transformation plan is designed as an iterative process which will take place over time. There are included stopping points where faculty and employees' attitudes towards minority and identity groups will be observed and students will be surveyed. The 6 measurable goals will allow evaluation of the proposed plan, and surveys to students and faculty will capture perceived perceptions and suggestions for future change. It is our belief that the plan will facilitate making students feel welcome and sense belonging in eSchool classes.